All right, so it is the next morning. I've done my official weigh-in, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. What am I having for breakfast? The same thing, a 3-point smoothie. And we are on our way to church, and we are really behind. And this actually fits in quite nicely. Everybody, it's the end of the day. Kat here, and I don't know. You probably know the answer. Given what happened yesterday, you probably know whether or not I actually won in the diet bet or not. And I just want to say, they're still tallying all the information, but my weight loss was verified, which means that it was accepted that I came in where I was supposed to in order to win, in order to be considered for that. So all looks good. Yes, I completed and I reached my goal. Yay! Reached my goal for the diet bet, and I was right. I did actually, my body did choose to hold on to some water weight early this morning, but even with that, I still came in and at a good number, so I was okay. But I honestly don't think that I would have met my goal if I did not implement the Virgin diet and did what I did, as it seemed maybe a little tight, maybe a little extreme or something this week. But I think it was necessary, and I think it worked. So, and it taught me a lot. Actually, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I learned along the way throughout this whole diet bet. During the whole 27 days of the diet bet, I actually lost a total of 7.1 pounds during that time. And so that's awesome. Since I started Smart Points, counting my Smart Points, which was, I think I started about the end of March. And so it's been a little bit more than a couple of months, I guess. Just a teeny bit more than a couple of months. And I've taken off about 17.4 pounds during that time. So it's really, I'm so happy. There's all kinds of non-scale victories as well as scale victories during that time. Okay, sorry about the glare in my glasses. I really can't do anything about that. But anyway, I wanted to first of all thank everyone out there who supported me and who has been so encouraging and leaving really wonderful comments and watching my videos and just really, just really making me feel like there was a community out there that was lifting me up and spurring me on and cheering me on, and all of you guys are really important to me, and I'm really super grateful for everyone who did that. I mean, honestly, every single comment is what made me be able to cross that finish line, and I do not take any one of those comments lightly. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. One of my points that I learned during this month is how important support is in this journey. And sometimes you just need somebody to listen when we have those dark days, or sometimes, you just need that cheering section, or, sometimes you just need to get inspiration because somebody's out there doing it better than you. And that really helps me, was when I also surround myself with people who are being very successful at what I'm trying to do, and I learn from them, and that also spurs me on as well. But so it really helps me around other people who are going to be encouraging you and supporting you in some ways. I'm super grateful for that. I think that's really, really important. So some other things that I learned this month, it's just, every card that I made, every vision card that I made had a word that just opened my eyes about so many things along the way. There were 4 vision cards, and one of them what was the first one? Well, I'm not going to start with the first one. Just, the last one that I made was flexible, and that word just really, taught me so much, because I really felt like toward the end especially, it was so important for me to remain open and to be flexible about adding the right things and being open to incorporating better things into what I was doing. Maybe what I was doing was okay, but I needed to change it up a little bit, take a little bit from that or a little bit from this, what this person's doing, or from this or that diet practice. And I've been through so many different diet plans and different, ways of eating in my life that I don't feel like, even if those things didn't, I'm still not doing those things long term. I always feel that, you just want to take the good out of it. We're going to go through experiences where you just take the good and you leave the rest, and you put everything together. There's something you can learn from every experience that we have, and you can put it to use later on. And I feel like that's what I did. I used a little bit of intermittent fasting. I used a little bit of the virgin diet. I used a little bit of the vegan diet that I used to be on. I mean, just the plant-based diet, and just really so many different things that I've done in my life, and I brought them all together to help me reach a goal. And I just thought, that was really important. Is really important to remain flexible, to be able to do that and not be too rigid. I also wanted to, one of my words was committed, and I needed to make my goal and then stay committed. I try to find ways to motivate myself along the way, and I think that's important too. I would change up my exercise routine. I would do experiment with different foods or something like that, or I would buy myself a little treat if I lost another pound or something like that. Yeah, I would go out and I bought myself a choker at one time that was really nice. I bought myself a purse yesterday because I completed it, the diet bed, and that was also I didn't celebrate donut day by buying a donut, so I bought a purse. So anyway, that was for you, Julie. I talked about that. Anyway, I also had a word that said master, because I wanted to become the master of all of the different steps that I was implementing. I wanted to learn to master the different steps along the way through habitual daily practice and discipline. And I needed to master that. Master and discipline kind of like go together, I think, because one of them produces the other one. They just kind of like constantly go into this infinity loop, I think. But, I just felt like I really wanted, in order to master something, in order to master those steps along the way to achieve my goal, I needed to change the way I think. And so I wanted to stay open to learning and always learning. And I don't ever want to be in the place where I feel like I know everything, because I know I never will. But I know that if I change the way I think, that'll change the way I act. And if I change the way that I act, that'll change who I am. And eventually I'll be able to meet that goal. So I have to stay on top of those things and make sure that they're all in alignment with my goal. If those three things are not in the act, the think, and the become is not in alignment with my goal, then I need to change those things to meet it. I also had a word overcomer, to be an overcomer. So I needed to overcome the obstacles that were in my way. So I had to figure out those things, right, with the tools that I was learning. And so I wanted to be flexible, to be learning. And then also one of the most important things that I really, I know these things, you know what I mean? But when you're going through something like this, you're going in a race or something like that, and you're competing or something, these things start really, popping out at you a little bit more. And one of the things was, on those dark days or on the days that I break from what I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't want to say fall, because I think falling that kind of sounds to me like I didn't plan on it and I didn't decide to do it. I just fell into it, right? I joke around and say I fell into a bowl of chips, but the thing is that I chose to do it. That is the truth, and so I know that as full disclosure, and I know when I do something like that, I need to pay the consequences, and I need to deal with the outcome of that. And so I have to make sure that when I fall, in my mind, I'm falling in the right direction. I know that I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep going in that same direction again. And I think that's what's important in becoming an overcomer, is that if you break and if you do something like that, which brings up my next point, is balance. And I think if I was going to, and you know what, I'm just going to make a word for this next week. I know I'm not on the diet yet, but I'm going to make a vision word because I like that. I'm still going to make a vision word. So my next one for this next week is going to be balance, because I think that that is so important. I learned different things about incorporating foods to reach a balance. I knew all these things before, but some of the things I kind of let fall by the wayside. But anyway, as far as balance goes, I think it's okay to, for me, to allow for an occasional indulgence. And I know not everybody's the same. Some people cannot do that. But, you know, today, I mean, the diet bet was over. My husband and I went out on our date finally. At lunch, we went to a buffet, and I did not count points today at all. I didn't. Well, I did this morning, but not for lunch, not for the lunch. So this morning it was a 3-point smoothie. And then we had lunch, and I did not count it. I didn't totally go crazy because obviously my stomach hasn't been so stretched out. So I could only eat so much, but I enjoyed it, and I chose not to count the points, and I chose to just have what I wanted to have. And I enjoyed his company, and then that was it. And I'm sure I stayed within, you know, my daily points, maybe used a few weeklies in there, but that's it. And I decided that I'm going to probably do that once every 3 weeks. We'll go out, and I probably will have a meal with him that I will not count points at. This is my journey, and I can do that. And so I want to make that helps me in my mind to maintain balance, because I know that I have a point in time where I'm going to breathe a little bit more and a little bit deeper. And so that helped me a lot. So some of the other things that I'm going to do. Oh, and also at the buffet, I was really happy to see that they actually have, they have it broken up into different countries and different kinds of culinary delights from different countries. But there's actually a station that has it. They call it a wellness station, and it's like totally like roasted vegetable sandwiches, and I mean, it's just like totally, I mean, honestly, if you're vegan, that area would be great for you. But this was Red Rock Casino's buffet, and I was real glad to see that they're implementing a wellness area as well. But anyway, incorporating more fruits and veggies and whole foods. I've done that in the past. What time is it? I've done it in the past, but I'd like to do some more of that. I really missed my complex carbs and my proteins and fats. I brought my proteins down this week, and so I want to make sure that I watch that in this next week. But I'm going to be adding some more fresh veggies and fruits, and I'm going to be doing some more raw recipes again, and really changing it up a little bit, but staying in my smart points. Anyway, my water is good. I'm doing really well with water. And I think maybe, I didn't have any coffee, and I didn't have any diet drinks or anything like that. I just had water this week. And so I think that was really important. So that really drove it home for me. But anyway, that's a lot of stuff, I know. I just tried to get a whole bunch into this like 15-minute video, but I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to celebrate with you, and again, say thank you for supporting me, for watching me, for listening to this video and all the other ones. I love you guys a whole lot, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night.